everyone. Thanks for joining us for the LinkedIn Success Circle workshop, one of many that we're going to do this year. Today's workshop is all about building your brand and how to amplify your voice in customer success. And we're super excited to have keynote speaker Teresa Anania, who's the Chief Customer Officer at Sophos. A little bit about your moderators today. So you'll have myself, Emily Crane, and I've been the head of digital customer success programs at Omnissa for the past year. I have been in customer success for 20 years and have also worked in program management. Formerly, I worked at VMware, and then before that, I worked at Autodesk. I've worked in the cloud management industry, the computer-aided design software industry. I'm also a board member of the Customer Exchange, the CX Exchange program and community, and I'm leading the LinkedIn Success Circle program this year. And then my co-moderator, Jennifer Milton, she's a customer success director at Seismic. She helps global financial institutions optimize social media strategies with Seismic Live Social. She's also a member of the the CX Exchange, and she's been a member for 2 years now. And I'm happy to say that she has joined our core team for the LinkedIn Success Circle. So next, I'll talk a little bit about our agenda. So first, I'll go over the Success Circle and who we are and what we do. Then we'll get into the keynote, which I'm just really jazzed about. We'll have a breakout activity where we'll break into smaller groups to discuss what Teresa has to say. Then we'll come back together, have an interactive discussion, and then a wrap up. So a little bit about the LinkedIn Success Circle. This is a group that was created by Jan Young in the CX Exchange to empower customer success professionals to develop and showcase their thought leadership. This is for leaders, for CSMs, for people that want to get into customer success. It's all about how do you amplify your voice, personalize your brand, and get your word out there in platforms like LinkedIn and any other platform that is out there for you. If you're ready to join, hopefully you've already joined the CXX LinkedIn Success Circle Slack channel as part of the CX Exchange community Slack, and we'd love to see you there if you're not there yet. So a little bit about Teresa Anania. I know her from working at Autodesk together. We're really thrilled to have her here. She is the Chief Customer Officer at Sophos. She brings with her 25 years of leadership experience in customer success, sales and post-sales engagement. She has a proven track record of driving customer-centric cultures, improving retention, delivering significant return on investment across global organizations. She's held senior roles at Zendesk, Autodesk, and Algor, and now she leads Sophos's post-sale strategy. Teresa's going to share her insights today on building brand, amplifying her voice, and making an impact, telling us a little bit about stories. So welcome, Teresa. I want to start off by asking you questions about your background and your journey. And you've had a very impressive career transitioning from digital CS to all segments. And now you're the Chief Customer Officer at Sophos. Tell us a little bit about that journey and some of the learnings along the way.
Earn much more business after that because we got all our money up front, to more of a subscription model when you have to earn the right for their business every year. And it just gives me a ton of, I'd say, like gratification that you bring together product, marketing, all the selling motion, and learning and education, and you put it under an umbrella of like, how do we want this customer journey to be when they purchase all the way through, getting full value, adopting the full solution, and then, renewing, upgrading, buying more in your solution set. And that just to me is a model that brings together so many disciplines. I think everyone on the CX side, and all of you probably agree, you can't do great customer retention and growth without it being an all company play. So what I love about it, Emily, is just that I had brought together all of those, skills I had garnered over the years and was able to really devote it to how do we really make an impact that is measurable? I think that's key. And also, has a direct indicator to the company goals. I wasn't as ecstatic in the selling side, just having like a number to hit every quarter. I did that for many years. What I loved about this is, yes, we have a number to hit, but the whole customer experience is, again, a company play. And really that collaboration, if you have, just an influence kind of mindset, you could do very well in this area.
Great.
Nice.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thanks for that overview. I guess my question is more along the lines of like, and it's kind of two-part
Mhm.
with like personal branding now being so critical, and we're within the
Yeah.
LinkedIn community and trying to be successful, and needing to like stand out in just such a competitive field for customer success, customer experience, all of the above. How did you really identify what your unique value proposition was going to be as a thought leader, and how you shaped your personal brand, and just does that impact like how you also your leadership style?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, I knew early on in those days of wanting to tackle this expansive, customer experience space that at least then and even now, it is imperative to, in my opinion, bring the outside in. So I'm a huge believer, Emily. I don't remember if you remember the early days where we would visit with companies that had been on this journey before, like Adobe and Salesforce. And I'll tell you what, that to me is just a nugget for all of you that, learning from the outside, joining circles like this, hearing from other people. I have always been super busy. I've always traveled, globally for many, many years. I always make time for events like this, summits, ways that you can go to some of the best in the space that have done things before and learn from them. So one of my superpowers is I bring all of that kind of outside in. It's not just Teresa's idea. It's like I've talked to VMware, I've talked to ServiceNow. I know from my past at Zendesk and years at Autodesk and before that. And I think bringing that to the table and even being able to articulate that in your job search or looking for your next opportunity within your own company, raising your hand to demonstrate, you know what, this is my day job, this is what I do, but I've learned something that could really impact this company and I'd love to apply it. And I think that is another area, is just being a hand raiser, leaning in, saying, this is something I'd love to tackle. If it is an opportunity, maybe with my boss, I'd let them know anything around the company that might get me exposed to more AI or get me exposed to some new
Mhm.
initiative that is truly complicated and cross-functional. I became adept, and one of my other superpowers is the collaboration power and being able to, not drive consensus because that takes too long, but leverage like inclusivity to really get SMEs at the table, great people around the company together, and influence them to actually get so much more done. So I think those are just some of the areas where I feel like you standing out, having a differentiated experience can be a
Mhm.
growth opportunity. It can help your brand. And then also just being able to recognize we all can't know as much as the collective, experts in the field, thought leaders in the field. And so learning from them, whether it's in sessions like this or even one-on-ones, just reaching out and saying, hey, I see you do a great job with your service portfolio. How can I learn from you, and then give something back? That nurturing relationship goes a long way.
Awesome.
I love that, Teresa. And I totally remember working with you in digital customer success, and you always kind of brought those other companies, or those, the companies that I had never heard of before, TSIA, Gainsight even, right? Like, how do you develop that network, that you
Yeah.
have those opportunities to be able to bring them in, and give you those opportunities to speak or to learn more,
Yeah.
or, how do you do that?
It's a great question. I mean, first of all, it is a very much flywheel effect, so once you build your network, then you start getting all these great opportunities, and then that yields great other network people and opportunities. So you got to get started, and I'm sure many of you have. I definitely think LinkedIn is an excellent place to basically not only, connect in and have all these connections, but side IM people and message them about something that you notice that you'd really love to learn from them. Maybe you saw them on this, event or another event. And so you could bring that up. Like, I just heard you, or you just brought up this great idea in the breakout room, and I wanted to double click on it. Obviously, everyone you work with, and those that you feel were your mentors, or even those, where you reported direct, or, a level above. I have always kept just a very strong connection anywhere I went, with at least the ones that I felt would be an authentic relationship. I didn't want just to be able to tap someone when in need, but someone where I felt like we could have a mutual benefit, where I could do something for them and they can help me with something, even just, if it was casual over a drink, or I'd be flying into San Francisco, I'd look at my list of people I want to connect back with, even it's been a few months. And so it takes time, Emily and Jen. It's not, and the whole team here today, it's not, something that can just happen again when in need. It really requires nurturing. It has to be authentic. It has to be a give and a get. There are people I tap for months, and then I realize, okay, it's been a little lopsided. I've been, we're launching a new win back and license compliance program, and I've been tapping people that have done this. And so then I'm like, I heard you're looking for a support leader. I have some people that you might be interested in. So it's like always thinking about that scorecard a little bit, and I don't mean you or they are keeping a scorecard, but how do I keep this relationship balanced? It's what you probably do with close friends, but you just have to apply it in business as well.
So true.
Very much.
Yeah, no, and that's something that we work on here internally too when I'm talking to clients about that. I think that's really great. And like from a LinkedIn perspective, I guess it just makes me think, what from your strategy and the expertise, like from the personal branding and thought leadership, when you're posting content to social media and LinkedIn in particular, and your thought leadership, what is your approach? What is your strategy? What is your goal?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say I'm not the most active, because I don't have, some of the time that I see some other thought leaders have, where they can really author, a piece of important, impactful content and get everyone talking about it. I more take a simple approach, but I think it
Yep.
still keeps me pretty active. So maybe this is a pragmatic idea for those of you busy. I will repost someone else's post and I will add in my 2 cents. So I don't
Mm.
really have time to author something, even though frankly, I often get written, as a byline, and I then get to take the credit, but someone else wonderfully writes it. But I do want to engage, because I want to share what I'm made of, who I am as a person. I think it does, seem to create a magnetic effect when, frankly, even recruiters are looking for just like a super differentiated kind of leader, because I think they get a little lens into who you are when you're a little bit more active on LinkedIn. I think also you brought up like speaking engagements, which really, really help you practice your thought leadership, but also give back, pay it forward, share with so many others what you've learned. I literally early days was asking for those opportunities. So don't think like, oh, I'm just waiting here, no one's asking me, ask, let people know, like, I would love in your community if there's ever an opportunity where I could speak. And, that was probably years ago, like 10 years ago. And now, yes, I get a lot of requests, but you know what? I try to do most all of them because I feel it is so important to give back to people. And yet it does, again, expose more about who you are, which I think is super important, because LinkedIn can otherwise just be, just a lot of connections, but not deep enough. So the other thing I would mention is messaging. I get probably like 50 messages a day.
Oh, wow.
A lot of them can be honestly like someone trying to sell me something, or so I have to say, I do have to sift through the noise, just like you would do with your email. But I respond to well, I shouldn't say this, you're all going to check me on this, but I do respond to every message, that is authentic. They're not necessarily selling something, even if they need something. I've had people reach out and say, I just really need your help on, putting my name out in front of Nick Mehta or whatever. I will do that even if I don't know them, because basically I really feel like this community, especially around CX, it's a small world. And I know many people have helped me, and I want to continue to do that. And I think it just, it allows you to really, again, build some credibility and trust with people.
Wow, that's awesome. That's very generous as well. So thanks for sharing that.
I love that. And it really does resonate with me and probably everybody here, being in CX, being in CS, that community feel. And
Yeah,
it's one of the things that I love about being in this industry is that we're all here
great.
to learn, we're all here to work with each other. So yeah, thank you for that answer. So just as we're closing on the keynote, is there anything that you would want to share to just kind of summarize? You had a lot of great bits there that we're able to take into our own lives. But is there any kind of high level lessons learned, key takeaways that you would want to share with the group?
Yeah, I mean, one, I would say leverage LinkedIn. Like, I do see so many people without a picture, without, I mean, not all of you, but I'm saying in general, and without any kind of posts. Their connections are minimal because they're really not engaging. I really think LinkedIn is a great way to build your community and actually your kind of superset of where you might want to focus your relationships. So I would say the second takeaway is just to think about those relationships that matter to you, and don't be too selective. Some people that you work with in the past, maybe they weren't a direct, let's say, promoter or one of your, big advocates, but maybe one day, like, there's just something where your paths are going to cross and it's going to be a great opportunity to stay connected. So I recommend that. I do think, sharing in any setting you can more about your practice and what you've learned and who you are is a great opportunity to put yourself out there. And then I would say my final point is really in your business, in whatever opportunities you have, whether you're on a board, full-time employed, raise your hand to do some things that are outside your comfort zone. Think about the way that you might augment the skills you already have so that you have more of a story. And it doesn't just have to be your role. It could be initiatives that just give you an opportunity to go into a new space that you've never gone before and dip your toes. And who knows? I mean, Emily, back when Jeff Wright gave me the opportunity to start one of the first customer success practices at Autodesk, like, it was scary. I had a really good job doing in marketing what I knew how to do, but I took a risk. It was a calculated risk, but being courageous, I think, is super important. Put yourself out there, take some risk. And, frankly, I'm sure you're going to want to have fun along the way too.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for your time. We're going to now break out into breakout rooms and do some real work here. Yeah, you are
I have
free.
the easy part.
You are free to stay if you want to stay. You are also free to go. I know you're very busy, so up to you. And Jen and I will take over from here.
Yeah, I really want to thank you all for joining. I hope you can reach out. If you need anything, I'm here for you. Emily is very special to me, so I was not serious when I said I answer to all of the requests to speak. It was Emily and even Jen just made it easy. So thank you, everyone, and really hope the breakouts go well and keep in touch, and good luck in all of your pursuit and your journeys.
Thanks all for participating in the interactive discussions. It was really neat to hear some of the key takeaways and actionable insights that you came away from in the breakout groups. So a little bit about what to expect from the LinkedIn Success Circle. We're going to have quarterly workshops with interactive virtual sessions with industry leaders, similar to this one. We'll also have meetups where we have collaborative virtual networking sessions. We'll also support the Slack community. As I mentioned before, there's a Slack channel for the LinkedIn Success Circle. Appreciate you joining that Slack channel and joining in the discussion. And then what to look for Thursday, February 20th, we do have a meetup coming up, and it's all about holiday branding and leveraging seasonal opportunities for LinkedIn success. An example I say for this is, leveraging Groundhog's Day as a prompt for being able to post something on LinkedIn about how in customer success we have to continue having the same discussions or the same types of activities that maybe we could automate. So that's a prompt that you could use to help with your LinkedIn presence. And then just as a key takeaway, I created a branding success pyramid. So it's all about defining your unique value proposition, leveraging LinkedIn effectively, engaging your network intentionally. And these are the key takeaways that I took from Teresa's insights about personal branding and professional growth. Making sure that your personal brand is your superpower, as Teresa said, and highlighting what makes you stand out. What do you know from your industry that you're in that's unique to yourself, and use that to your advantage. Make sure to leverage LinkedIn effectively. Don't forget to engage with people. If they're engaging with you, engage back. Things like, don't just do a thumbs up on a post that you like. Make a comment, right? And make it personalized to where you're coming from, and engage with your network intentionally. Networking is a two-way street. Absolutely. Approach LinkedIn with purpose, be accessible, be responsive, be impactful. So with that, I want to thank you for joining today's session. Jen put a link to the deck in the chat, and we have supplied some resources that you can use, a couple of books, a podcast, a couple of online courses that you can take at your leisure. Love to hear from you. Definitely look us up in the Slack community channel. And with that, good night, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon. Thanks. Bye.